Hello students, a very good afternoon. So welcome to today's question and answer discussion based on what mock test we had in the morning session. So before we start this session of question and a discussion or Q&A discussion, so let me on the poll for technical check. Please let me know if my audio and video is clear. A very good evening. Thank you. Please confirm if my audio is clear as well as the video. Yes, perfect. Okay, so I hope your exams went well today and the difficulty of paper was, easy to medium. Most of the questions were very direct and it was straight from the NCERT. So if it should not be so difficult if you had gone through at least twice through your NCERT and made down very important, pictures in the book as well as the examples that are given in our textbook. So we have picked up some important questions so that you would find difficult. So let's see. So here is your first question. Cyclosporin A is an immunosuppressive agent produced by. So we have Monoscus purpurus, and the option B is Trichoderma polysporum, and the third option is Streptococcus, and the fourth option is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. So I will on the poll, okay, for MCQ. Give me a second. So let me launch an MCQ poll, and I want you all to answer within 30 seconds because you already know the question paper, right? Cyclosporin A is an immunosuppressive agent produced by, okay, Monoscus purpurus, Trichoderma polysporum, and then we have Streptococcus, and then we have Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Okay, so we have an option, and I'm going to be ending the poll sooner. Okay, so let me end the poll and see if you have got the right answer. See, students, it's so well given in our textbook. So anyways, so let's see the first option. We have Monoscus purpurus, okay, which is also called as the red mold. Okay, it is called as the red mold. Okay, so if you see this organism, it basically infects rice, and then it is helpful in the production of a biologically important substance called as statins. Okay, statins which reduce blood cholesterol. Okay, so which reduce blood cholesterol, especially the bad cholesterol, what we call it, is used for that. So next one, if you see Trichoderma polysporum, right? Trichoderma polysporum is used for the extraction of cyclosporin, which is an immunosuppressive agent. Okay, whenever we go for transplantations, we know that there is graft rejection, right? We cannot just accept anybody's tissues or organs simply like that. So Trichoderma polysporum is one such organism which gives us with cyclosporin A, which is an immunosuppressive agent. Okay, so our right option is B. When it comes to Streptococcus is used for the Swiss cheese. Okay, so we use this for Swiss cheese, even though a lot of Streptococcus is known for, giving us diseases, but a species of Streptococcus is used for the production of Swiss cheese. Next one is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Saccharomyces cerevisiae is also called as the yeast, so which we use for the fermentation of, production of alcohol. Okay, or it is also used in bread. Okay, so what is your right option? It should be option 2. Okay, if you have got the wrong option, no problem, because we are still in the learning stage. I know we have a lot of time for examination. You can get your answers right now. Fine. So we have the second question. State true or false to the following statement and select the correct option. Sexual reproduction is absent in Alternaria and Agaricus. Few plants are particularly heterotrophic. Okay, morels and tuffles are club fungi. So we have option A, B, C, and D. And with respect to individual options, we have to select whether it is true or false. Even this is true or false, and this is true or false. Okay, so can we launch the poll? So let me launch the poll now. So here you go. So choose the right option. which of the following statements are true? So we have chosen option D. Okay. So can we end the poll? So let's end the poll and find out which is the right answer. So when it comes to the first option, sexual reproduction is absent in Alternaria and Agaricus. So when it, if you even if you don't understand Alternaria, you can see Agaricus. Agaricus is an example for Basidomycetes, so which is mushroom that what we eat. So mushrooms are a very beautiful examples for undergoing sexual reproduction. So when it comes to, because they produce sexual spores also, right? So that is why our option one is true. Option one is false. Sorry, option one is, give me a second. Option one is false. When it comes to the second option, okay, when it comes to the second option, few plants are particularly heterotrophic. So when we see the organisms like we have Venus flytrap, or we have sundew plant, and then we have picture plant. So they actually depend on the insects. They eat insects and they depend for food. Especially the nitrogen compounds are derived out of these insects. So they're basically partially heterotrophic. Even though they can synthesize their own food, they still depend on some of the insects for the supplementation. So the option B is true. Okay, give me a second. Option B is true. So the third option, that is morels and truffles, are club fungi. Morels and truffles are the example for, a sac fungi, or it is also called as Ascomycetes. So the third option is also wrong. So the first and the third option is wrong, and the second option is right. So option D is correct. We have option D as option D is F. Like A is false, B is true, and C is false. Okay, so let's go next. Okay, so give me a second, students. I have trouble with my pointer. Okay, so given below, okay, are the parents. Okay, so we have the given parents whose child. So these are the parents, the option A, option B, option C, and option D, okay, can produce a child with blood group A. Okay, so except for which of the following pairs of parents can produce a child, okay, with blood group O. Okay, we have to find out which of the parents will not give rise to blood group O. Okay, so let us see what your answer is. So I will launch a poll right now. Okay, I'll launch a poll right now. So tell me which is your right answer. Okay. Sorry. Okay, you have chosen as option D. Okay, I'm sorry. So I will end the poll right now. So let's see if your answer is correct. Okay, see, for the baby to be born without, okay, O blood group, okay, see, whenever we have two recessive alleles, that is small I and the small I coming together, we have what blood group? We have O blood group, isn't it? So let's find out if we have the correct answer. So if you see in A, so this is not working. Okay, fine. Look at this option. Option A, you see, we have the first allele, that is IA. So if IA, capital IA goes with capital IB, so it will give rise to AB blood group, right? So if you have small I goes with capital IB, it will give rise to B blood group. If small I goes with small I, it will give us to O blood group. So our option A is giving rise to O blood group. So let's come for the B. If you see B, small I going with capital IB, it will give us B blood group, right? So small I going with capital IB, again we get B blood group. Small I going with small I will give us B blood group, sorry, O blood group, and small I going with small I will give us O blood group. So even in option B, we come across what? We come across B blood, like O blood group. Okay, fine. So let us see with respect to C blood group. Okay, so in C blood group, we have the following option, that is, you see, capital A, that is IA, going with small I will give rise to what? A blood group. Again, we have IA going with another small I will give us what? A blood group. Again, IB going with small I will give us what? B blood group. Again, capital IB going with small I will give us what? B blood group. Here, did you find, did you find did you find anywhere the O blood group? Tell me, students, did you find anywhere the O blood group? So in our C option, we don't find the possibility of, the O blood group, correct, right? So that is why option C is correct. So some of you told that option D. So let us look at the option D. We have we have IB small I, and then we have IB small I. Okay. So IB going with IB will give us what? IB, that is B blood group. Capital IB going with small I will give us what? Again, B blood group. Small I going with capital IB will give us what? Again, it will give us B blood group. Okay. So the option D, okay, we have small I going with, again, one more small I. Again, it will give us O blood group. So this also is giving us O blood group. Now our option should be C blood group. Okay, students. So the pointer, I have troubles with pointer. So did you understand these questions? Can you give me a thumbs up if you understood? Did you understand, students? Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So I'm trying to fix the trouble as I'm explaining. So hope so that we are able to, get it right. Like it starts working, hopefully. Okay. So let us go for the next question. Okay. So we have this question. Mulatto skin. Okay. Mulatto skin man marries a very light colored skin women. Okay. So women, which of the following skin color is not possible in their children? So this definitely needs my pointer. Okay, fine. So if you see the mulatto, okay, if you see the mulatto, hold on a second. If I have an option, I will definitely do this. Okay. So let's try and do something else. So I don't have pointer options. 1 second. 1 second. Yeah, mulatto skin is not dark skin. Mulatto skin is like us, brown skin people. Okay, I was going to explain this. Okay, in human blood grouping, okay, in human blood grouping, if you observe in human blood grouping, right? So in human blood grouping, we have what? In human skin color, we have what? We have three alleles. One is capital A, capital B, and capital C. So if capital A, capital B, capital C is there, we call it as dominant alleles. The more the dominant alleles are there, they will become more darker, correct, right? So we have capital A, capital B, capital B, capital C will give what? Extremely dark. Okay, so complete dark skin people will be there. So if it is small a, small b, and small c will give what? It will give extremely light skin, or very light skin will be there. So very light skin will have alleles as small a, and then we have small b. I'll just put it in the chat box. Okay, you can just follow the chat box if it is possible. Okay, you can see that. So what I'm trying to say is the alleles for your, the alleles for your mulatto skin is capital A, capital B, small b, and then we have capital C and small c. Okay, people. So this is for mulatto. And then if you see for light skin, it is all capital small a, small b, small b, and small c. This is for your very light skin. So if these two people marry, what are the possible alleles that we are getting for the next generation? Okay. So if you observe here, in your male has the possibility to produce lot of variations. Okay, whereas the female will produce, okay, I'll write it here, the female can only produce these type of alleles. What are those? Small a, small b, and small c in their gametes. Do you agree with me? Yes or no? Because all of them are homozygous, all of them will have the same variants, that is small a, small b, small c. Agree with me? Do you agree? Whereas when it comes to male, okay, when it comes to male, we have what? We have capital A, capital B, capital C. That is the one possibility, correct, right? And then we have capital A, capital B, small c. That is the second possibility. And then we have capital A, small b, and then we have capital C, that is the second possible, that is the third possibility. Then we have small a, then we have capital B, then we have capital C, that is another possibility. And then we have small a, small b, and then we have capital C, that is another possibility. And then we have capital A, small b, and then we have small c. So that is another possibility. And then we have small a, capital B, and then we have small c. See, these are the possible alleles that we can get out of male gamete. You can just go through in your chat box. So these are the possible gametes a male can produce. Who is a male? What type of male it is? Mulatto male. So I told you the genotype for mulatto male. What is that? Capital A, capital B, small b, and capital C, small c. So if we start pairing small a, that is, you see the female gametes, small a, small b, small c, correct, right? If you see the male gametes in order, so whatever I have typed, that is male, capital A, capital B, capital C, if you start following from there, so these are the possible outcomes you will get. What is that? So the first baby will be capital A, small a, and then we have capital B, small b, and then we have capital C, and then we have small c, correct? Are you following me, people? Do you agree with me? This is the first baby, correct? So then we have capital A, yes. Then we have capital A, then we have small a, then we have capital B, then we have small b, and then we have capital C, and then we have small c. Yes. So this is the second outcome, right? Then we have capital A, small b, capital C, small c. This is the third outcome. You can write it in your book and you can see, cross check it. Then we have small a, capital B, then we have small b, then we have capital C, and then we have small c. Do you agree with me? So this is another outcome, correct? That is small a, capital B. Oh, sorry, I missed one B. So you can check it there. Capital B, small b, and then small c, small c. Then we have capital A, capital A. Then we have small b, and then we have capital C, small c. Okay. So this is another outcome. And then we have one more outcome, that is capital A, small a. Then we have small b, then we have small c. Yes, this is another one. Then we have small a, capital B. Okay, capital B, small b, then we have small c. Yes. So these are the babies that will be born if a mulatto skinned man marries a fair, that is light skinned female. Okay. Is it understood, people? And finally we have finally one more is there, that is small a, small b, small c. Sorry. Okay, give me 1 second. Small a, small b, small c. So this is the last baby. Okay. So if you see, just go through one time all the genotypes, people. Just go through one time all the genotypes, all the possible outcomes, that whatever the babies we have got, you just go through them. So if you just observe, okay, so you see here, I will write it here, capital A, small, okay, this is very important question, capital A, small a, then we have capital B, small b, and then we have small c and small c. This is one. Next one, we have capital A, small a, then we have small b, then we have capital C, small c. Okay, this is the second one. And next one, small a, capital B, small b, then we have capital C, small c. Okay, so these kids who are having these genotypes, okay, hold on. Yeah, these kids who are having these genotype will be what? Will be fairly light. Okay, fairly light. Okay, so LIT, LI. Yeah, LIGHT, fairly light. You can follow. If the kids are born with these alleles, they'll be fairly light. Again, small a, then we have small b, then we have capital C, small c. Okay, with them we have capital A, small a, then we have a small b, then we have small c, small c. Then one more genotype is there, that is small a, then we have capital B, small b, then we have small c. If these kids are born, they will be light skinned. Okay, they will be light skinned. Okay, fairly light. Okay, line 1 second, and light skin. Okay, people, are you following? Okay, light skin. Next one, If the kids are born with AA, that is small a, small b, small c is very fair. Okay, so that we call very light. Okay, very light skin. Okay, very light skin. Will be very light skin. Got it, people? So if we have capital A, small a, okay, we have capital A, small a, capital B, small b, then we have capital C, small c, then these kids will be what? Intermediate. Intermediate. Okay, intermediate. Okay, intermediate skin color. That is like almost brown. Okay, intermediate skin color. But they're pretty fair. Just can you go through these kids? Okay, can you go through this? So if you observe this, we got very light, that is first option. We got light, then we got fairly light. But did we end up with fairly dark? Did we get fairly dark? No, right? So our option should be what? Option D. Yes, did you understand, people? Oh, is it coming to only one person or everybody? Okay, wait 1 second. Um, 1 second, people. I think just 1 second. I will just copy this because it's gone to only one person. So you can see here. Give me 1 second, people. I'm sorry about this. Yeah. Yeah. So now everybody can see, right? I didn't observe this, but this is the outcome. So did you understand? You just go through this, go through the text box, you can understand. You see, when it comes to human skin color, it depends upon how many of the homozygous, how many of the dominant alleles are there. The more the dominant alleles, that is capital A, capital B, capital C repeating, they will be more darker. Okay, that is when their numbers, when the dominant allele decreases, then the pigmentation, that is the coloration of the skin also decreases. So the more they get small a, small b, small c, they become light skinned. So when the Molito, that is a brown color skinned man, marries a light skin, that is very fair girl, then we will have these many outcomes. Did you guys understand? Can you confirm? Yeah. Yes. Thank you. So if you have doubts, you can just put it. Okay. Can we go for the next question? So here we have the next question. During respiration, glucose is oxidized to A. A further, A further can form either lactic acid or converted to some product, that is A, and A can be used either for the production of ethanol plus carbon dioxide or for the lactic acid. So let us see our option. Ethanol and carbon dioxide are produced by A in our muscles during vigorous exercise. So this is A. Next one, B. A is 3-carbon containing compound. Okay. Next one, A forms lactic acid during aerobic respiration. Then you have the final option, that is A is end product of glycolysis, which enter matrix of mitochondria. Okay, which enters the matrix of mitochondria to carry out fermentation. Okay, students. So I will launch the poll now. Okay, I will launch the poll. So tell me what do you think is the right option? Okay, is the polls live? No. Okay, so let me check it. Yeah, the poll should be live now. Can you check it? The poll should be live now. Okay, so you have given your answer. Just give me a second. Fine. So if you see your options, so some of you are telling D. Okay, so let's see if you have got the right answer. Okay, See, what happens in glycolysis? Glycolysis is a anaerobic reaction, right? So, which happens in the cytoplasm. So what happens in glycolysis? We have glucose, right? Glucose is a 6-carbon containing compound. So glucose undergoes 10 steps, okay, which is a glycolysis process to produce a 3-carbon containing compound called as pyruvate. Okay, so glucose into glucose 6-phosphate, glucose 6-phosphate into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, fructose 1,6-phosphate for fructose 1,6-bisphosphate into, okay, phosphoglycerate. So again, phosphoglycerate undergoes changes finally to produce this 3-carbon containing compound called as pyruvate. Did you understand? So if we are breathing oxygen, like when we have sufficient oxygen, this pyruvate will be transported to mitochondria. Before it enters into the mitochondria, the pyruvate is converted into acetyl-CoA, okay, a product called as acetyl-CoA. Here, this acetyl-CoA will undergo Krebs cycle in the mitochondrial matrix. Okay, are you following me? So we had glucose. Glucose is a 6-carbon atom. So by the end result of glycolysis, it will divide this 6-molecule glucose into 3-carbon containing compound called as pyruvate. Okay, so if there is oxygen, it will be converted into, okay, acetyl-CoA, which enters the mitochondria for what? Citric acid cycle, or it is also called as Krebs cycle. All right, people. So here, if you have pyruvate and if you don't have oxygen, for example, if I'm working out too much, then I'm breathing a lot. So I will not be able to sufficiently give my muscles with enough amount of oxygen. At this point, what happens? My muscles become fatigued. Okay, they will become tired because they're not able to get enough oxygen. They're not able to get enough oxygen. So now what will happen? Anaerobic reactions happen in our tissue where the pyruvate will be converted into lactic acid. So whenever we are working out, when we are exercising vigorously, if there is increase in lactic acid in our muscles, that is when we get muscular cramps. Okay. If you see the microorganisms, the same pyruvate, okay, or pyruvic acid, this is used for, anaerobic respiration, where the pyruvate will be converted into ethanol and carbon dioxide. So if you see the following options, what is A? A is a 3-carbon containing compound. See the first option. Ethanol and carbon dioxide are produced by A in our muscle cells. Actually wrong. Ethanol and carbon dioxide are produced by anaerobic bacteria by the process called as fermentation. So if they had given, okay, lactic acid are produced by A in our muscles during vigorous exercise, then that would be right. So look at the next option. A is a 3-carbon containing compound. Now you will agree with me that the B is the right option. So see the third option. A forms lactic acid during aerobic respiration. No, right? A forms lactic acid during anaerobic respiration when our muscle cells do not get sufficient oxygen. So your fourth option, that is A is the end product of glycolysis, right? Which enters the matrix of mitochondria to carry out fermentation. It enters the mitochondrial matrix to carry out what? Krebs cycle, not fermentation. Did you understand this question, students? Okay. Did you understand this? So, okay. If you don't understand, just put a message. We can follow up. Okay. During the plant breeding programs, superior hybrid is self-pollinated for such crops. Okay, because these plants, so the characteristics will not segregate in the progeny because they consume a lot of time for cross-pollination. So what do you think is your option? Okay, what do you think is your option? Tell me, students. So our polls are live. So I want to know if you have the right option. So yeah, we have our message. What do they say? Yeah, that is the prior one. So the low polls are live. Please tell me if you have the right option. So let's see if you have YouTube students, you can even text in your chat box. Okay, so I will follow it up. All right. So let's see if you have the right option, students. So B, B is your right, B is your option. Chalo. So first option, because pollen grains are not available such crops. So there is no such thing as that. So this option is wrong. Because cross-pollination do not take place naturally in this plant. Actually, no, they're like regular plants, but they're hybrid plants. They will be able to undergo cross-pollination with insects like normal plants. So that the characteristics do not segregate in the progeny. That is the main aim for creating hybrid crops. So hybridization process is a very long, very tedious, process. So the first thing that we have to do is to avoid, the progeny or the characteristics being segregated. So we need to stop this sexual reproduction. So what we will do, we'll go for the same self-pollination. Okay, we'll transfer the pollen grains from the same plant to the same flower so that the characteristics are intact and the characteristics or the nature of that hybrid plant, whatever we have created, do not change. When the cross-pollination happens, what happens? The characteristics gets interchanged. Whatever the hybrid quality that we have created would definitely become diminished or would disappear, right? Or it would get mixed up. So that is why we always choose self-pollination for hybrid plants so that the characteristics are very well preserved. So our option is C. Okay, so because they consume a lot of time for cross-pollination, this is also not wrong. It is very relative. Some plants it is very fast, some plants it is very slow. Okay, it depends upon one plant to another plant. So our option is C. Okay, so in plant breeding programs, hybrid plants are always self-pollinated to preserve its characters in the next progeny. Okay, can we go for the next question? Here is your next question. All the following are those areas in which the succession starts where no living organisms existed before, except. So your options are bare rock, newly cooled lava, newly created pond, and abandoned farmland. So let me put your MCQs. So tell me, what is your right option? Your polls are live now, students. So tell me, what is your right option? D, abandoned farmland, somebody has told. So chalo, let us check if it is the right option. Okay. So if you see the options, right? Bare rock, there is no life there. If you see newly cooled lava, that it is just cooled, right? It's very hot, it has become cold, there is no life there. Newly created pond. In a newly created pond, there is just minerals, but no life, right? But abandoned farmland means there was organic material, and this organic material could be going under the process of degradation. So there is potentially the existence of decaying microorganisms. So there is a pre-existing life or there is still life in the abandoned farmland. So in first three options, A, B, C, here there was no life at all. So here it goes primary succession, but in abandoned farmland, it is already life was there. So it won't be fresh succession. It will be the post succession. Okay, so that is why our option D is correct. Good. So let's go for the next question. So our next question is, yeah. In a hypothetical condition, if the thylakoid membranes tear off, causing the stroma, which of the following process is likely to be affected? Reduction of NAD plus to NADPH, okay, absorption of sunlight by chlorophyll, movement of electrons from PS1 to PS2, okay, and option people. Okay, let's see if you have the polls. Yeah, so let me launch the polls. Yeah, your polls are live. So give me A, B, C, D. If the thylakoid membrane is torn off and the stroma and the thylakoid are in contact, which of the following processes are likely to be affected? A, B, C, D. Oh my God. Yeah, B. So let's see. Okay. Let's see if this is your right option. Okay. So let's come back here. So I want you to tell me, okay, I want you to tell me. So yeah, I want you to tell me, you have told that B is an option. Have you heard about chemiosmotic hypothesis, people? So just give me yes or no. Have you heard about chemiosmotic hypothesis when it comes to photosynthesis in higher plants? Okay, let's see. No, you have not heard about chemiosmotic hypothesis. Okay, see what happens. See, we know that mitochondria is called as the, okay, D is the correct answer. Yes, D is the correct answer. Over anonymous. Yeah, your option is right. ATP synthesis. See what happens here. We know that mitochondria is called as the powerhouse of the cell because it produces ATP, right? See, in chemiosmotic hypothesis is one such place which explains how thylakoids within the chloroplast can manufacture, ATP molecules. So what is happening in mitochondria as well as in thylakoids, the manufacture of ATP takes place because of the proton gradient. Okay, proton gradient means your hydrogen ions will accumulate in one side so that it creates a change in difference in pH. Okay, so that is what is happening. Fortunately, I could have written the entire diagram. So let me check it. If I have it, I will definitely post it. Okay, just give me a second. Just give me a second so that it will. Okay, give me a second. Photosynthesis, isn't it? Yeah. Give me 1 second, people. I will just share the screen for you so that you can see. Okay. Photosynthesis. Yeah. We have chemiosmotic hypothesis. Yeah. We have chemiosmotic hypothesis. Then 1 second. Give me 1 second. Yeah. We have here. Okay. Share. Yeah. Observe this diagram on the right, people. See what is happening. We have thylakoid. So the circle shape, within the circle shape is a thylakoid lumen. We have thylakoids, right? The coin-like structures. So these are called as thylakoids. So here what happens, the thylakoid has a membrane. Okay, within the membrane, there are electron transport chain. So there is a system where the electron transportation here within the thylakoid membrane, there will be accumulation of protons. So if you know what is Z scheme, okay, like what is happening here, we know that the chloroplast utilizes sunlight, right? We know that the chloroplast utilizes sunlight for photosynthesis. So that utilization of sunlight happens in the chloroplast in something called as photosystem 2. Okay, so here what is photosystem 2 is doing? It utilizes light for breakdown of water. Photolysis will take place where H2O will be broken down into H plus and O2, right? So this H plus is what? Hydrogen ions. Are you following? So next one. So whatever this process of photolysis, that is breakdown of water using sunlight happens, there what happens, it results in the liberation of electrons. Okay, why the plants need water to break down is because they need electrons. So how many electrons will be released? 4 electrons will be released. So these 4 electrons will undergo, it will be passed from one electron acceptor to the another electron acceptor. Okay, so here if the electrons have to go from photosystem 1 all the way till your PQ, that is plastoquinone or cytochromes, which are the electron acceptors. What these electron acceptors will do to transport this electron, see outside the thylakoid is the stroma. Stroma is a place within the chlorophyll, okay, which is outside the chloroplast. Okay, in the stroma, whatever the hydrogen ions were already there, that will be pumped to the inside of the thylakoid. Okay, just for the transportation of electrons. Again, this is the second place where the hydrogen ion concentration increases within the thylakoid. Okay, in the third place, if you see the photosystem 1, which is again the part of your chlorophyll. Okay, so here what is happening here, the photosystem 1 will actually reduce NADP to NADPH. Okay, that means it is adding one hydrogen ion to NADPH. So for this, it does not happen in the thylakoid, but it happens in the stroma. So it takes the NADP and then it adds the hydrogen ions, which are already in the stroma. So that means already which was less hydrogen ions in the stroma, that is also taken out for the conversion of NADP into NADPH. So what will happen? The hydrogen ion concentration in the outside of the thylakoid, that is a stroma, you can see here, is less, whereas within the lumen, that is inside of the thylakoid, it is very, very high. So that will create a pH difference. That is means more hydrogen ions means more protons, right? So that will create a conformational changes where within the ATP synthetase. ATP synthetase is an enzyme that helps in conversion of ADP into ATP. So now what happens? Because of the excess of protons, okay, that is hydrogen ions, that will create changes in the ATP synthetase. ATP synthetase has two important units, that is F0 and F1. So F0 is within the membrane, F1 is outside to the membrane. So the hydrogen ions go through the F1, okay, that will cause us changes in the, sorry, it will go through the F0, that will create your